Okay, this is a presentation of Group J members, and we are going to present about weather instrument. So we are going to define first what is weather. Weather is the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere. And as you know, the atmosphere is a layer of gases which surrounds the Earth's surface. And an example of these gases, we have nitrogen, oxygen, and a few other gases that holds the gravity of the Earth. And the heat from the sun warms the gases in the atmosphere at different temperatures, causing a light air to move. So after the heat hitting it, it makes it to move, which is wind or the light air that is moving. There are 4 elements of weather which affects how we experience our daily lives. And there is weather measuring instruments which we use and which we are going to talk about in this recording. We have a wind vane, a windsock, a thermometer, a sunshine recorder, a rain gauge, anemometer, hygrometer, and lastly, a barometer. So these weather instruments, they are the ones that helps to interpret the weather changes in our daily lives. And to our first element, which is a windsock. A windsock is used to measure both direction and speed of wind. And a windsock is structured in a way that it's conical in shape, and both sides of the windsock, they are open to allow the free flow of air. I'll show you the image of a windsock. Here we have a windsock, and a windsock is normally located in an airport, as you know, and the airports people or those who work in an airport use a windsock to interpret the weather, if they can take a flight or they can land. So I'll take you on how a windsock works. And as I said earlier, a windsock is open on both sides, in which wind enters from the wider side and escapes from the small side. As I can show you the image again, you can see the first side is wide and the lower side is narrow. So wind enters from the wide side and escapes from the narrow side. So when it escapes, if the wind is strong, it will show the speed of wind, and it will also show to the direction of wind. So a windsock serves 2 purposes.
So the next instrument that I'm going to present is the wind fan. The wind fan is one of the instruments that are found in the weather station that is used to measure the wind direction. It is typically used as an architectural ornament to the highest point of the building. The word fan comes from the Old English word fanner, which means flag. Then I would like to present you how the wind fan works. The wind fan is made up of a tail and an arrow. The tail fin catches the wind, and the arrow points toward the direction the wind is blowing from. If the arrow on the weather fan is pointing north, then it means there is a north wind. In other words, you can say that the wind is blowing from the north. Thank you.
I will take you through thermometer. This is a device that measures air temperature. Most thermometers are closed in glass tubes containing mercury or alcohol. There are 3 types of thermometer, that is maximum thermometer, minimum thermometer, and 6 thermometer. About maximum thermometer, here we see that it uses mercury to measure temperature change, When the mercury gets heated, it expands and moves up the tube by amount which is directly related to the temperature. Then here we have an example of maximum thermometer. Then about minimum thermometer, it uses alcohol to measure change in temperature. When temperature increases, the volume of the liquid expands and moves up the tube, proportional to the temperature rise. Then we have an example of minimum thermometer. Then the final type of thermometer is 6-is thermometer. It uses both alcohol and mercury to measure temperature change. 6-is maximum and minimum thermometer is a registering thermometer which can record the maximum and minimum temperature reached over a period of time. For example, 24 hours. It is used to record the extremes of temperature at a location, for instance, in meteorology and horticulture. Then another thing about temperature is that we have other different types of temperature, like digital temperature. Maybe we have different digital temperature. It is used to detect the temperature of a daily, and another digital temperature may be used to detect the temperature of the milli. Thank you.
Okay, the next instrument is sunshine recorder, and this is a meteorological instrument used for recording the amount of sunlight that a particular location receives throughout a day. And we say that inside the recorders is an adjustable frame are 2 pieces of paper stripped and a glass sphere that can focus sunlight. As you can see, now this is the glass we can see there. Then down the glass are the papers that are being burned as temperature goes. Now how it works, now if the sky is clear, the paper is slowly burned as the sun moves across the sky. If there are clouds, the focus light will not be strong enough to burn the paper. However, it can be difficult to interpret the output of sunshine recorded. Then rain can interfere with the paper's burning, and the cloud cover is not all, nothing affect. Now we are saying that with the sunshine recorder, it is placed outside of the environment, and as the sun rays falls on the glass, they be recorded and they burn up the paper which is down there next.
The next instrument is the rain gauge. It is used to measure the amount of rainfall that falls in a certain area. The rain gauge is made up of 2 cylinders, one the smaller one inside the bigger one, and it is calibrated where the measurements are taken.
An anemometer, it's an instrument used to measure the speed and the direction of the wind.
Okay, a hygrometer is an instrument that measures humidity, the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. Humidity measurements instruments usually rely on measurements of some other quantities such as temperature, pressure, mass, and a mechanical or electrical change in a substance as moisture is absorbed. By calibration and calculation, these measures quantities can lead to measurements of humidity. And this is the instrument itself.
In conclusion, these weather measuring elements are used in combination to predict the daily change in weather pattern. This can be summarized in the table below. Wind fan, wind sock, thermometer, sunshine, recording head, and barometer. Wind fan is used in measuring direction. Wind sock is used in measuring speed, strength of the wind. Thermometer is used in measuring temperature. Sunshine is used in measuring sunshine intensity. Rain gauge is used in measuring amount of rainfall. Anemometer is used to measure the speed of the wind, hygrometer is used to measure the humidity, and barometer is used to measure air pressure.